Εξομολογήστε το Κύριο διαγραφός, αλληλούια, ότι στον αιώνα το έλεος αυτού, αλληλούια.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today what I would like to talk about is what we've heard in the news recently about Church of England churches abusing the asylum-seeking process. What we are seeing in Western Europe today is something that we haven't seen since the 4th century. A massive transportation of population from other parts of the world into Europe at a scale that society can't keep up with. And this is throwing up all kinds of questions for our politics about how we manage this event. An event that collapsed the Roman Empire in the 4th century. And what we have witnessed in the past week, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Church of England is being used by fake converts to Christianity as a means of gaining asylum in the United Kingdom. That is something that has become apparent by the recent case of Abdul Azizi, a man who threw acid on a woman, having used a fake conversion to Christianity as a means, ladies and gentlemen, of gaining asylum in the UK. And the many conservatives and social political commentators are attacking the church because the church apparently does not have enough safeguards to find and prevent failed asylum seekers from their Damascene conversions to the Christian faith as a means of gaining asylum. However, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it clear that it is not the job of the church to guard the borders of the United Kingdom. That is the job of the church. That is the job of the state, and the state is the one that is failing to do that. It is the state that is failing to return fake refugees. It is the state that is failing to dismantle the economy built around helping fake asylum seekers gain residence in the UK. It is the state that is failing to tackle the criminal gangs that are transporting human beings and trading in human transport. It is the state, ladies and gentlemen, that allowed Abdul Azizi, a convicted sex offender, to stay in the UK. It is the state, ladies and gentlemen, that has failed to return people to the country that they came from when it was safe, like France or Italy or Greece or Turkey, and instead allows them to stay here in the UK. It is the state that is failing to recognize that a proportion of those that are coming here are fleeing criminals from other parts of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the state needs to crack down on fake asylum seekers. The state needs to crack down on immigration that is governed by people who are wanting to abuse a benefit system, who are traveling here purely for economic reasons, but are not contributing to our society. That is not the job of the church. It is not the church's job to do those things. That is the job of the church. Sorry, the state. And when the church, I'll take a question in a moment, sir. I'm going to come on to what the church's role in all this is. Go on, sir, you wanted to make a point.
Just a point. Do you think that the church is at fault at all?
Yes. The question, ladies and gentlemen, in this question about the church being complicit in the abuse of the asylum process, is the church at fault? And that brings me on to my next point, which is to say, yes, the church is at fault. And I want to explain why, ladies and gentlemen. Did you get some water? Could I get some water, please, guys? So, ladies and gentlemen, how is the church responsible for participating in this abuse? I'm going to explain how the Church of England is at fault. I want to read from 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 27 onwards. Therefore, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. But a man must examine himself, and in so doing he is to eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For he who eats and drinks judgment to himself, if he does not judge the body rightly. For this reason many sleep. But if we judge ourselves righteously, we would not be judged. But when we are judged, we are disciplined by the Lord, so that we will not be condemned along with this world. So then, my brethren, when you come together to eat, wait for one another. If anyone is hungry, let him eat at home, so that you will not come together for judgment. The remaining matters I will arrange when I come. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just a few points about that passage. Firstly, in Paul's understanding of the Eucharist is the understanding that when we receive the bread and the cup, we are receiving the body and the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. That the real presence of Christ is there in the sacraments. And that before we receive that sacrament, ladies and gentlemen, we should examine ourselves to see if we are worthy to receive what we are about to participate in. That we examine ourselves so that we do not pile judgment on ourselves by receiving it in an unworthy manner, because we receive it out of greed or vanity or lust or deceit. Ladies and gentlemen, let me finish my point, I'll take a question. This results in this call by the church for us to examine ourselves, results in a practice within church tradition of guarding the temple, guarding the table of the Lord from abuse. We discourage non-Christians from receiving of the Eucharist. But clearly, ladies and gentlemen, if someone receives baptism out of deceit, they are going to receive the Eucharist out of deceit. And so it is incumbent, by extension and analogy, for Christians to protect baptism from abuse, to protect the sacrament of baptism from fake converts who are using baptism purely as a means of gaining asylum, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, did you have a point that you wanted to make?
Right, so the question I got, I saw this billboard here. What's, I mean, religion, your faith, is all very well and good. But what's that got to do with the politics here?
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Serious question, with respect, what has that got to do with what we're saying?
Okay, in answer to your question, sir, he's got nothing to do with me.
It's start of the
He's got
end of the
nothing to do
world.
with me, so I've got nothing to do with his billboard.
Sorry.
I'm with
That's
Jesus.
fine.
I'm with Jesus.
Right, so I'm going to continue. No, I'm no, sir.
Nobody alive.
I've got nothing to do with it. I'm going to press on with my presentation.
World would have been destroyed.
So I'm going to press on with presentation, sir.
Nuclear holocaust.
I'm going to press on. Let me make my next point, and then I'll come to you. Let me make.
Mr. Speaker, I've been coming here.
Go on. What's the question, bro?
The question is, why not giving him his visa first and then ask him to convert to Christianity? If not, then seize his visa.
Okay, I'm going to come to that. So what, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear me, I invite you to come forward. Do me a favor, come forward so I don't have to shout as much. Right, ladies and gentlemen. So the question is, what can we do about fake converts? Well, what I learned recently is that the state is often dismissive, ladies and gentlemen, about the church's testimony to converts. And in the examination given by the Home Office, they just test the applicant, how much do they know the Christian faith. So it is purely a test on head knowledge. What needs to happen in our country is that the state and the church work together to examine the potential convert to Christianity, to see if that potential convert hasn't just learned a bunch of facts, but is actually living out the Christian faith, ladies and gentlemen. And that comes through getting to know the convert. It comes through the need for community. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to be clear, there is only one way to really build community, and that is that you invest in the time. You invest time in knowing one another. You invest time in living together, in working together, in laughing together, in activities together, in celebrating together, in serving together. It's only through time that you can build community, and it's only through time together that you can know someone well to examine whether they are truly a Christian or not. And the Church of England, in its recent document advising ministers about how to help asylum seekers, offered, ladies and gentlemen, no guidance at all to those ministers about how to identify a fake convert and what to do if you did. The church should be willing to say to the state that we believe that this man is not genuine. And if, ladies and gentlemen, it becomes apparent that an asylum seeker, after they have gained their residency card, stops practicing Christianity, their church should report them to the Home Office, and the Home Office should begin deportation procedures. And a follow-up of the convert should go on for several years to ensure that for several years they are following the Christian faith, ladies and gentlemen. And Christians must do this because we must defend the temple, the table of the Lord, the Eucharist, from abuse, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions before I continue? I want to invite you to move a bit closer from those who are debating at the back. Thank you.
Thank you, Freddy Krueger.
The reason why, brothers and sisters, that Christians must defend the sacrament, ladies and gentlemen, of the Eucharist is because the sacraments of the church are holy to the church. God is active in the sacraments in reminding his people of what he has done. God is active in the sacraments in binding his people together. God is active in the sacraments in communicating grace to his people. God is active in the sacraments in drawing people, his people, to himself. And it is a sign of his life and his Spirit's work amongst us. And that is why, brothers and sisters, we must take defending of the Lord's table seriously. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen, before I go and debate that guy? Going once? Go on.
It's not on topic.
Okay, off-topic question.
If in the future there is a referendum for a united Ireland and it passes through, what would your message be to the Protestant Unionist community in Northern Ireland?
It's a good question. It's an interesting question. So the question is, if there was a referendum for a united Ireland, what would I be saying to my Protestant brothers and sisters in Northern Ireland? I would say this. 1, drop your sectarianism, because it was your sectarianism that lost you your province. 2, do what is best for the church in a united Ireland. The cause of a united Ireland is irrelevant to the church. It is not the concern of Christians whether there is a united Ireland or a united kingdom. Both of these nation states will eventually disappear. They are transient, temporal organizations. The church is an eternal organization of the people of God. And as Christians, we must do what is best for our church in every country. And so I would say to Protestants in a united Ireland that they must do what is best for the church in the Republic, even if what is best for the church is against the Republic. Just as we as Christians in the United Kingdom must do what is best for the church, even if it is against the best interests of the United Kingdom as the United Kingdom understands it. And that would be my message.